Welcome to another video of Excel Academy. In this video, we will discuss how to read the questions in your question paper and identifying the keywords in the question paper. So when we understand the keywords in the question, it is very easy to answer, which will be in tune with the expectation of the institute. Very often, students don't identify what is the question and what exactly they're asking. For us to understand this, let us take a law paper today, which is uh, December of 2016, company law for CS executive program. So here let us try to analyze two things. What is that? How to read the questions and also identifying the keywords in the question. So I will not be telling you what are the answers for these questions, but we are discussing about how to understand the questions and how to read the question. So first one, let us have a look at it. Comment on the following. So here when they say comment on the following, what does it mean? You have to state what is the legal sections or other provisions, and you must give your reasons, and you must give the justification for your answer. So that is what when they say as comment. So when we are already seen answer all questions, so there is no option, we have to attempt this. So let us see the first one. A director insists that his note of dissent be recorded in the minutes of the board meeting which he attended and did not agree to some of the points of the agenda. So we have to comment on this. So what is most important word here? We are trying to identify the keywords, that is dissent to be recorded. So you should know whether the director can insist on the dissent to be recorded or not. So when you read this, you can identify the keywords like this. The next question. A member of a company has statutory right to appoint proxy for attending general meeting of the company. Similarly, a director can also appoint his proxy for attending the meetings of the board of directors. So you know that this is not possible. So they have given you an analogy that a member can appoint, so obviously director also can appoint. So what is the keyword here? Appointment proxy for the director. So when we understand that, we'll be able to write the answer. Going further, issue of unsecured debentures by a company to another company where the debentures have an option for compulsory conversion into equity shares within 7 years cannot be termed as deposits. So what should we write? Here the answer first we should write yes or no. In fact, for all the comment related questions, you can first write whether the answer is yes or no. First part. Second part is the legal provision sections, if you know that. The third part is the reasons and reasons for you telling yes or no. And the fourth part is the justification for your reasons by help of any case law or provision of law. Similarly, let's go to the next question. A meeting of the board of directors was scheduled to take place at the factory premises of a company and not at the registered office. So we know already that it has to be at the registered office. At the scheduled date and time, the required quorum was not present. So quorum was not present. This is the key word. The chairman of the meeting announced that the meeting is dissolved. So what we should understand, they are asking you about the section related to quorum. So you must again go back to the same exercise. What is the legal provision, quorum, which section is it, what is the yes or no your answer, justification, and the reason should be clearly mentioned. So that is about comment. So now I am sure you are getting a brief idea about how to identify the keywords. The next one is very easy. It is distinguish between or difference between. So in these kind of questions, it is best when you try to understand what exactly they are asking, again in terms of the legal provisions. So here, annual general meeting, extraordinary general meeting. So what some students do, differentiate between, first they'll tell section 96 talks about annual general meeting, section 100 talks about EGM. That is not what they're asking. That is not a difference. When they're asking difference, what is the difference in features? So every time when you write difference between, it is better if you have 3 columns. First is the point of difference. The second one is obviously the particular point, AGM or EGM, or similarly the next question, associate company, subsidiary company, mortgage and charge, transfer of shares and transmission of shares. So please understand, they're wanting to know what is the point of difference and the features relating to it. So that is how you'll understand the distinguish between. Here it is not very difficult to understand the keywords, it is fairly straight and simple. Going further to question number 2a. So in question 2a, let us see, it has been found that Mrs. Shweta, director of a company, has drawn remuneration in excess of the prescribed limits. So they're asking about director's remuneration. The CFO of the company has sought your advice in the matter, as the secretary of the company advised the CFO on the course of action to be taken in this regard. So what are they asking you? One, you know which is the topic. So they are asking you about remuneration. But here, what is the question about? What is the keyword you should understand? Course of action. So if when there is a violation, what is the course of action to be taken in this regard? So your answer also, when you write, you should probably start by writing to the CFO, because they have asked you very clearly. This question is before the CFO. So through the CFO, then you can write the course of action should be taken. So try to use the similar words which they are asking in the question paper and write whatever is the particular answer. Now, going further to the question 2. There are 7 shareholders in a private limited company having registered office in Chennai. 6 shareholders are French nationals and belong to the same family, holding 95% of the voting rights. These shareholders are unable to come down to Chennai and wish to hold the annual general meeting in Paris, that is in France. Advise whether the meeting can be held in Paris. So here, what are they asking? Again, related to, you should identify which section are they asking you about. They're asking you about, in this case, AGM. So you know that section 96 related to AGM, etc. So what are they asking? What is the keyword here? Advise whether the meeting can be held. So when we understand that, they're asking you directly for advice. So then how do we attempt this particular question? So the first thing is, you write yes, it can be held, or no, it cannot be held. In our case, the answer is no, it cannot be held. Then you write the why it cannot be held. So why? For the answer why, you will have to know which is the section. So if you do that, then you'll be easily able to get the answer properly. The next question. So we are discussing CS Executive, December 2016. Kamal, the promoter of Desire Limited, has incurred 1 lakh for formation of the company. The company refuses to pay all the expenses so incurred by Kamal, since the company does not have provision in the AOA for such a payment. Advise Kamal regarding the remedy available to him for this for his claim. So here again, which is the topic they're trying to ask you, that you have to identify. That is preliminary expenses. Then after that, what are they asking you? They're asking you to advise Kamal, not the company. So in individual capacity, you have to advise Kamal. So that is why I told you in the starting of this video, please identify the keywords. Identify the keywords. When you identify the keywords, you'll know what they are asking and what is the orientation and what is the angle in which they are asking. Only then you can write the correct answer. So this whole video is about the understanding keywords with example of this particular question paper. Same way, let us go to the next question. Divine Industries Private Limited has turnover of 350 crores during financial year 14-15. Bankers of the company have advised the company to compulsorily appoint women director in the company as required under the Companies Act 2013. Referring to the provisions of the Act, examine validity of the banker's advice. What would be the answer in case of the company is a public limited company? So here, in the question only, it's like, suppose if you don't know anything in the answer, you are very sure to answer, because see the way they framed the question. The second part, if you see, they say, what would be the answer in case if it's a public limited company? So even a student who has not studied company law but who knows basic grammar in English can answer this, because they're saying Divine Industries Private Limited at so and so, etc., etc., and they should appoint women director, whatever. Suppose I have not even studied women director concept. If I see the second part of the question, what would be the answer if the company is public limited company? Obviously, it means no for the first part of the answer and yes for the second part of the answer. So now coming to this, that is the first clue you can gather. The second thing is, what are they asking? The keywords here: provisions of the act examine the validity of the banker's advice. So you must write which section is it. So once you know that section 149, 150, 151, so all these sections you can quote and then tell what is the criteria relating to the women director, and then give the answer. So it is 4 marks question. So you can write the 2 parts, that is 2 marks each for the 2 questions in this particular part. So I hope you're getting an idea how to identify the keywords and answer. Now going to the third question. Again, see, they're giving a lot of case law questions nowadays, and only when you have a clear understanding of the law, you will be able to answer. Here we go. Peculiar Limited, an unlisted company, did not prepare its financial statement for the year ended 31 March 2016 in conformity with some of the accounting standards. With reference to provisions of Company Act, state the responsibility of directors and statutory auditors of the company in this regard. So what is the keyword here? First thing they're asking you, responsibilities of whom? Directors and the statutory auditors. So you know, as they have said in the question itself, that what the company has done is not in conformity with the provisions of the Companies Act or the accounting standards. So when you write the answer, you can be very clear, because each one is 4 marks and 2 marks each for responsibilities of director and 2 marks for responsibility of auditor. So when you write the answer also, you write responsibility of director for this non-compliance, whatever, 1 to 3 points, for auditor 1 to 3. So this, how will you be able to do? When you read the question properly and identify what they're asking. Now going to the next question. A 3-year-old producer company wants to donate some amount. So now you should know producer company is complied under 1956 Act and not 2013 Act. Advise the company as to how and for what purpose such donation can be made. What are the monetary restrictions in this regard? In this context, you are also informed that the net profit of the producer company for the last accounting year was 12 lakhs. So here, what is the keyword which they are asking? They are asking you the restrictions, the monetary restrictions when the producer company wants to donate. So you can come directly to the point, what are the restrictions which are there. And here they've even given you the figure of 12 lakhs. So here that means they're expecting you to give a example while answering. Next question. At annual general meeting of Soya Limited, a matter was to be transacted by passing a special resolution. Out of 40 members present, 20 voted in favor of the resolution, 5 voted against it, and 5 votes were invalid. The remaining 10 members abstained from voting. The chairman of the meeting declared the resolution as passed. Referring to the provisions of the Companies Act, examine the validity of the chairman's declaration. So here what are they asking? Validity of the chairman's declaration. So first you should write what in the answer? Whether it is valid or not. That is, whether he has done the correct job or not is the first thing you should write. Second thing, since they have already given you some numbers, how many members are there, etc., you can write the definition for what is a special resolution, and then you can write what is the answer for this particular question. In fact, if you want to know what is special resolution, we have a video on that. You can check out our channel. Now going further, the next question. Suresh, a member of Ruchi Limited, wants to inspect the register of members maintained by the company as under the Companies Act. The company refused to provide the register for inspection without assigning any reason. So even in the English grammar only, we know here that company is not done right. They have not given any reason. It's an extreme statement. Referring to the provisions of the Act. So again they're asking you sections. Which provision? Examine validity of the company's refusal. What shall be your answer if the same register is demanded by the statutory auditors of the company for inspection and further audit. So here again there is two parts to the question. So each part contains 2 marks and you must answer it specifically. So what are they asking? Whether what the company has done is valid or not. So hope you are getting an idea how to read the questions and identify the keywords. See, if you do this, half your battle is won. Your answer will be much more in tune with what they're asking. Now, going to the third question. Novel LLP. So they're asking about the LLP concept. Trademark and patent attorneys have been successfully running their business for 5 years. They have fixed asset in the form of intangibles, that is software, worth 75 lakhs in their balance sheet. Advise as to whether their accounts are to be audited. So here, what are they asking you? They're trying to test whether you know what is the audit provisions for a LLP. So first you should always write the provisions which are applicable and then write yes or no. So when you write this kind of an answer, they've given here specifically novel, LLP, 75 lakh, etc. In your answer also, you must use that. You should not simply write, yes, they can audit or audit is not required. You should not write like that. You should write for novel LLP, audit is required because they have 75 lakh. Audit is not required. So whatever is the answer, you should be specific to what they're asking in the question. Going further, out of 9 directors in Rooftop Limited, 5 are Indian national, 3 are foreign resident, and 1 is a person of Indian origin. The articles of the company stipulate that quorum for the board meeting shall be 5 directors, of which at least 1 director shall be foreign resident. Referring to the provisions of that, examine the validity of the above provisions in the articles. So they are asking whether the articles is correct or not, whether the provisions of articles is valid. So again, this is a similar pattern. Now whatever we have discussed in this video, it is repeating here, same thing. So you can adopt the same strategy while analyzing this question. Okay. Next question. Board of Directors of KM Limited proposes to transfer 11.33 of the net profit of the company for financial year to the general reserves. Examining provisions of the Act, advise board whether they can go ahead with the proposal. So again, very similar question, so I won't repeat that. Next, Priya, a nominee director on the board of Aroma Limited listed company, informed the board of directors during the board meeting that the next annual report of the company shall contain MDAR, Management Discussion and Analysis Report. You being company secretary have been asked by the board to prepare the said report. State the matters you should include in the report. So here they are not asking you to prepare the report. They are asking you what? So let us identify the keyword. State the matters that would include in the report. So you should only write the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever points are there. The matters to be included in MDAR are 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can just add something like of Aroma Limited, because what is in the question? Exactly you're answering. So they are not asking in the report. Some students, they'll simply blend, oh, MDR, let me draft the report and they'll go ahead. That is not the correct approach. Yes. Next question. RIA Technologies Limited was incorporated 10 years back. The board of directors now wants to change the name to RIA Systems Limited. Draft a notice and explanatory statement for calling EGM of the company for change of its name, assuming relevant data. So you can assume the different data, imaginary you can put. But what are they asking? What is the key over here? Draft a notice. So they want you to have a template or a notice draft. They don't want you to tell what will be in the notice, or like the previous question, they're not asking you state the matters. Here they're asking you draft. So try to understand what is the action item which they're asking in the question. Last question only to state. Some other question decide. In this question they're asking to draft. Yes. Next question. Barca Limited has 4 directors on its board. A board meeting was convened which was attended by only 2 directors, where Rekha was appointed as an additional director. Rekha is related to both the directors. Referring to provisions of Companies Act, examine the validity of the appointment. So here first again, when they ask a question like this, first we should write yes, the validity is okay, or no, it is not. Then what should you do? Which is the section applicable? Then the reason for your answer, then the justification. See, if you plan and divide your answer like this, obviously for 4 marks, if you write, they have to definitely give 3 or 3.5 if your answer is right. But many students fail in this because they don't even try and recognize what are they asking in the question, what is the angle in which they are asking. Next question. Rise Limited, a company with diversified interest, has constituted IPF as required under the provisions of Companies Act 2013. The company has so far not deposited any amount in the fund. The President Finance has asked you, Company Secretary, to submit a note on the amounts payable to the credit of the fund and the period within which the amount shall be paid. Prepare the said note. So here, many students what blindly they'll start writing IEPF. They would have studied very well. They'll simply start writing so and so section, etc. Here, none of that is required, because what are they asking you? They are asking you to prepare the note. To whom? To the President Finance. And in that note, they're asking you 2 things. What are the 2 things which they're asking you? First thing is the amounts to be credited or payable. Second thing is the time limit. So please understand, when you are writing to President Finance, he doesn't need to know all the background. He should just have a quick reference to what is the provisions. So you can even make a table, amounts, time limit. So you can make 2 tables like this, amount and time limits, and then go on writing your answers. Of course, if you know the sections, you can quote, and that will definitely help in getting marks. But even if you don't know, this presentation is sufficient. And you can write to, like in the top of that answer when you start, to the President Finance, Rise Limited, etc. Then in the end you can write yours faithfully, Company Secretary, etc. There's nothing wrong if you do that. In fact, they'll appreciate. Yes, next question. 6 persons are the only members of TAB Private Limited. All of them went to USA on a pleasure trip by aeroplane. Okay. On the way, the plane crashed and all the members died. Does TAB Limited still exist? Decide. So when they say decide, usually it is related to some case law. And more often than not, especially in executive program, whatever case law question they ask, it will be from within the textbook. So in fact, for the ones who have studied, you know, this is related to a case law where all the shareholders of a company died during the World War and everyone died. So there was a saying, right? Not even a hydrogen bomb can kill a company because it has perpetual existence, etc. So when you write this answer, decide, you should quote first one, what is the case, what was the principle in that case, which is, what is it? Principle is perpetual succession, separate legal entity, etc. And then when you, even if you can quote the case name, it will definitely add very high marks. So in the conclusion, what will you give in the conclusion? You should connect it to this particular question. What is that? The TAB Private Limited will continue to exist. Why? Because of this particular case law. And again, if you know a little bit of English and grammar, even if you don't know, the way they frame this question, you will definitely know that it will exist. So that's how you can take a clue. But don't take that risk. Please study for exam and then go for it. Yes. We have come to the last page of the question paper. There are a few more questions. Question number 5. Board of Directors of Progressive Limited decides to issue equity share of the company with differential voting rights. So you know which is the section they're asking. Examining provisions of Companies Act, state the conditions to be complied by the company. So what is the keyword we should identify? State the conditions. So they're asking the conditions, and again they're not asking you to explain the condition. Just what are the conditions? 1, 2, 3, 4 to be complied by the company whenever they're giving differential voting rights. So examine provisions meaning you must try and remember, write the section. If you don't remember section, it's okay. At least just state the conditions. When you write the answer, you write the same thing. The conditions to be complied by the company for differential voting rights to issue shares is 1, 2, 3, 4. So try to answer in the same language, same context, same tense which is being asked in the question. Next question, and this is for 8 marks, so your answer has to be very detailed. Next question for 8 marks, define the term deposits and list out the receipts of money which are not considered as deposit. So here it is directly related to the definition of deposit. So if you know the definition of deposit, see they have asked for 8 marks. So how do you answer this question? First part, which can consist of around 2 to 3 marks, is definition of deposit. So just write what is deposit. Then what are they asking here? List out. Only when they say list out, obviously you should start writing in point wise 1, 2, 3. List out what? Receipts which are not considered, receipts of money which are not considered as deposits. So once you list that out, that is sufficient for 8 marks. So they are not asking you for much more explanation, just the receipts which are not considered as deposit. So again I am repeating, identify what exactly they are asking, understand what they are asking. After they understand what they are asking, plan the answer in your mind for few seconds. You don't have much time, right? And then start writing. Don't blindly simply read question and start writing. It might not be what they are asking. Yes. Question number 6. Ms. Rukmini is the statutory auditor of Energies Limited. So it's a public limited company. In the name only we know. Free reserves of the company are 4 times more than the paid up capital. The company has Rohit, secretarial auditor, that is company secretary. There is a cost auditor, Amit, and internal auditor, Sunil. Examining provisions of company. So again, examining provisions. So you should know the section numbers very well in this particular paper. Company law, CS executive. Read with secretarial standard. Advise the company as to who is or who are required to be present at the forthcoming annual general meeting of the company. So again, if you see English, what you can recognize here, if they ask who is or who are, obviously the answer is are. That is, more than one person should come, not who is. Otherwise they will not even give the answer. If the question is such where the answer is only one person has to come, they will ask who is. But what they have asked, who are. They have given is or are. That means obviously there is more than one person. That itself is a clue for you, even if you have not at all studied the subject or syllabus related to this concept. So what are they asking here? Keyword, advise the company. So advise is not just listing out or naming in points. You must tell them why. You should tell them why. You should give them the reasons. You should tell them the section or whichever is the provision of law, etc. That is how you can write this particular answer for 4 marks. Such questions are very scoring because it is for 4 marks and they have 2-3 questions within that. So for each one, if you write properly, they have to give you marks. There is no other choice. Yes, 6B. Next question. Referring to the provisions of Company Act 2013 relating to CSR provisions, answer the following. So they have given for 4 marks 2 questions. Obviously it is 2 marks each. Which activities would not qualify as CSR? So here you should know first thing, which is the section, which is the schedule in the Companies Act which talks about the CSR activities, and the rules. When you study all this, we can easily write which activities would not qualify. Again, they are not asking you for any explanation. If for 2 marks, just write 4 or 5 activities which will not qualify. That is sufficient. Then, whether the average net profit criteria for CSR is before or after tax. So for this answer, again, since it is only for 2 marks, that is 2 plus 2, 4, whether it is yes. So again you write yes or no, whatever is your answer. This is just an example question paper. And then give the reason for that. That is more than sufficient because this is such a lengthy paper. You can't go for more than what they have asked for. For 2 marks, that is sufficient, and directly go to the next question, which is 5 board meetings are held in Asha Limited during the period from Jan to June calendar year. See, carefully read calendar year, not financial year 2016. Okay. Rajiv, additional director, attended none of these meetings. For the first 2 meetings, he sought leave of absence from the board but did not inform the board for remaining 3 meetings. So 2 meetings he took leave of absence, 3 does not take leave of absence. Examining provisions of the Companies Act, decide whether he is disqualified to act as a director. So again, going back to English, grammar, things like that, whether is disqualified, obviously, even if I don't know anything in this chapter, it looks and very obvious that he is definitely disqualified. Then it will also give you a clue which section is this related to in company law. Disqualification of director section. So you must know section 164, section 167, both are connected. So there you can write why this person. So there the concept is something like whether he takes leave of absence or does not take leave of absence is irrelevant in the New Companies Act. So you can write the answer that way and then it will be correct. So read and identify the correct concept what they're asking. Finally, the last question in this question paper which we had discussed December 2016, examining provision. So when they say examine, that means it is more of critical analysis and much more in detail. Explain the powers of central government to order amalgamation of companies in public interest. So the question is very, very specific. The powers of central government for amalgamation of companies in public interest. They are not asking you what are the powers. They are asking you to examine the powers and explain. So read the question properly and then start writing the answer.